Hey, so I wanted to share something that we went through actually yesterday in our mindset, or actually Wednesday, in our Mindset Mastermind group. We were actually reflecting Book of the Month, which is Mindset by Carol Dweck, and that led to a conversation of how do we take negative mindsets, how do we take things like fear and actually turn them into action, as opposed to letting it freeze us. And so I wanted to share this because I think it's worthwhile, and I think to share this with anybody, I think could be helpful, and that's what I hope. So one thing that we talked about was there are some actual practices that you could use to reframe fear and turn it into action. And so the first one is the fear, truth, action framework. So there's three primary steps with that. Number one is you name the fear. So for example, I'm afraid I'll fail if I try this. That leads to step two, you name the truth. So first, name the fear. Second, name the truth. Failure is a part of learning. So no one gets it perfect the first try. So it's okay if you do fail. And then choose the action. Step three. So I'll do the first step anyway and use what I learned to get better. So reframed is I might fail, but it means I'm growing. I'm not stuck. So that is the fear, truth, action framework. 3 steps: name the fear, name the truth. Step 3, choose the action. The second is what if, then what? So this helps defang fear by playing it out and shifting your focus. And so a good example is, what if I launch this offer and no one buys? Then what? I'll refine the messaging, seek feedback, and relaunch with more clarity. So the new frame is, even if it flops, it's not the end. It's information. It's data. It's going to help me reframe and recalibrate to make it even better. So that leads to momentum. Number 3 is the old story, new story rewrite. So ask yourself, what's the story I've been telling myself? For example, if I raise my rates, people will leave. What's the second question to follow up with that is, what's a more empowering story I can live into? Raising my rates reflects my value, and aligned clients will respect it. Then that leads to the third and last question is, what new behavior aligns with that new story? I'm going to confidently share my updated pricing this week. And so with that, what you're doing is, again, you're reframing, but you're rewriting the old story that oftentimes might be holding you back or keeping you frozen, actually. So the second or the fourth is the fear inventory plus bold micro action. And so write down the fear limiting belief. So for example, I'm not qualified to lead this project. Then ask yourself, what's one bold but manageable action I can take this week that challenges this belief? It might be volunteer to lead one piece of the project, or present an idea into a team meeting. Just a small action, but it is action, and it's facing into that fear. So with that commit, like, this small act will help dismantle the fear, improve your capability, and it'll lead to further action as well. That will lead to more bold micro actions. All those add up, and that can change the trajectory of a whole situation for you, especially with something that you might have been fearful about. Now, the last one is the fear fuel flip. And so you use this phrase, I'm afraid of blank because it matters. That's a sign I need to do it. Then you ask, how can I take one imperfect action this week towards it? So it's a lot like the micro action, but it's using fear as a fuel. For example, you could say, I'm afraid to pitch myself on that podcast, but that means I care. I'll write the email and send it tomorrow. And so instead of letting yourself get talked out of an action that could be worthwhile, you're actually using it to provide fuel towards action and help you actually take good, healthy action that you know that you need to be taking. And so to reiterate, the fear, truth, action, the purpose, it's to replace fear with grounded truth. It helps you to recenter. So the what if, then what, diffuses worst case scenarios, reduces anxiety. Old story, new story, shift identity and narrative, identity level change. And then fear inventory plus micro action. It connects mindset to behavior, creates momentum, and then the fear fuel flip. It turns emotion into a mission. So great for bold leadership. So I want you to do one thing, and it's down here on the bottom. The challenge. I want to challenge you to catch and reframe one limiting thought this week, and use one of these frameworks to see how it works. And if you do, I would really love to hear about it. It means a lot to know that people actually, see stuff like this and they find value in it. So if you do actually catch and reframe a limiting thought, shoot me a DM, shoot me a message, shoot me a text. However, let me know.